I don't remember the moment I snapped. Not exactly. But I remember the silence of the airport. How loud it was. I was standing by the arrivals curb at LAX, still holding my phone, still gripping the handle of my suitcase like a damn fool. One foot tapping against concrete like I was pacing in place for hours. Actually, not like I was. 16 hours. I counted. Her last text was, "Wait for us at the airport, we'll be there soon." Us meaning her, our 2 kids, and my parents. The whole crew. It was supposed to be our big escape. A 2-week luxury getaway in Maui. I paid for everything, first-class flights, oceanfront villa, even the custom itinerary. A once-in-a-lifetime thing. But no one came. Not her. Not the kids. Not my folks. I thought maybe something happened. Maybe a car crash. Maybe someone got sick. You go from worried to frantic to numb. You go through every phase of panic like checking off boxes. Call. Text. Refresh. Wait. Repeat. Over and over. Then came the real gut punch. I was scrolling through my feed, trying to kill the anxiety when I saw it. A post from her sister, Vanessa. The caption burned into my skull. Best weekend ever. Tropical drink, palm tree, hashtag Hawaii bliss. It didn't register at first. Just another sunny picture of happy people in paradise. Until I zoomed in. There she was. My wife, Kendra. Sitting on a poolside lounge chair, cocktail in hand, wearing the bikini I bought her last Christmas. Next to her, some dude I'd never seen before. Too close. His hand low on her back. She wasn't just smiling. She was glowing. Then the next photo showed them mid-kiss. Not a peck. Not friendly. That kiss had history in it. Comfort. Ownership. I felt like the floor was falling out from under me. Right there, in front of Gate 7, families reuniting all around me. Kids screaming, couples hugging. And me standing still swallowing glass. That wasn't even the worst part. My parents, who I thought were coming with us, were in the background. Laughing. Clinking glasses with her new man. That's when something in me broke. Not shattered. Just flipped. Like a switch. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I booked a one-way ticket out. Didn't matter where. Just away. Took my carry-on and walked like I was escaping prison. I didn't even go home to pack. I didn't tell anyone. I deleted every app. Changed my number. Cut all lines. Vanished. For years past. Clean. Then, out of nowhere, my phone lit up. 135 missed calls. All from a number I didn't recognize at first. Then the banging started. On my door. And it was her. Kendra. She looked nothing like the goddess from the photos. Not anymore. Makeup running. Eyes wild. Screaming my name like she was entitled to something. Jason. Jason, please. You have to help me. That's when I realized. Betrayal has a long shelf life. But karma? She's punctual. I never thought of myself as the kind of man who'd get played. I wasn't perfect, sure, but I showed up. I provided. I listened, hell, I even folded laundry without being asked. And still, I missed it. Or maybe I didn't want to see it. The signs were there, looking back. They were just dressed in perfume and fake smiles. Kendra changed about a year before Hawaii. At first, it was subtle. Less touch. Less eye contact. She started going to yoga twice a week, but never came back sweaty. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, suddenly had a passcode. She said it was for safety. Funny how safety smells like guilt. We had 2 kids, Maddie and Carter. I loved them more than my own breath. They were the glue that held me in that house. Long after it started feeling like a prison with throw pillows. She knew that. She weaponized it. I'm just tired, she'd say, anytime I asked her what was wrong. Work's been insane. It's not you. It's just stress. I'm allowed to have my own life, Jason. Yeah. She had a life, all right. A whole other one. Parallel to mine. I remember one night 6 months before the Hawaii trip. She came home late from a work dinner. I was already in bed. She smelled like cigars and some spicy cologne that wasn't mine. I asked, half joking, "You kiss your boss goodnight or something?" She froze for half a second too long before fake laughing and tossing her bag on the chair. "Don't be ridiculous," she said. I wasn't ridiculous. I was naive. There was another night. I'll never forget it. I came downstairs for water around 2 a.m. and caught her whispering into her phone in the laundry room. I startled her, and she jumped like she'd seen a ghost. "Who are you talking to?" I asked. "No one. Vanessa," she said too quickly. It didn't even sound like Vanessa on the other end. But she shoved her phone in her back pocket and brushed past me with a forced yawn. "Can we not do this right now?" Every time I poked at the truth, she'd deflect. Or cry. Or turn it on me. "You never trust me. You always think the worst." Well, the worst wasn't bad enough. So I buried my doubts. For the kids. For the dream. I kept working overtime, stacking up enough to make that vacation happen. 2 weeks of sun, surf, and smiles. I thought maybe, just maybe, it would fix things. Rekindle something. Remind her of who we used to be. I didn't know that while I was booking snorkeling tours, she was busy getting tangled in someone else's sheets. Someone younger. Flashier. Some loser with abs and no job, most likely. The trip was my Hail Mary. My last-ditch swing to keep our family from crumbling. And the morning of the flight, she kissed me at the door like nothing was wrong. She smiled and said, "We'll meet you at the airport. I just have to finish packing the kids' stuff." I offered to help. She waved me off. Said I'd just get in the way. She said, "Wait for us there. We'll be there soon." I did what I always did. I trusted her. And she did what she always did. She lied. But nothing could have prepared me for the image of her in that photo. That kiss. That smug smile on her face. Like I didn't even exist. Like I was just a backup plan in case her little fantasy didn't pan out. And my parents, don't even get me started. They had to know. They were in on it. The whole damn family acted like I was the embarrassing footnote in her romantic comedy. I sat in that airport chair, scrolling through Betrayal like it was a highlight reel. My palms were sweaty, jaw clenched so hard it ached. And that's when I decided, no goodbye, no fight, no drama, just disappear. I didn't tell anyone. Not my boss, not my brother, not even my closest friend, Derek, the guy who knew everything from my high school crush to my worst hangover. I just disappeared. I left the terminal, walked out into the hot Los Angeles air, and kept walking like a ghost with a credit card. I bought a ticket to the first place I could get to without a layover, Bozeman, Montana. Why? No idea. Maybe because no one ever thinks to look for you in Montana. Or maybe because the name sounded like a clean slate. Whatever the reason, I was gone within 3 hours. I turned my phone off on the flight. I didn't turn it back on for 3 months. I landed, booked a cheap motel room, stared at the ceiling fan for what felt like days. The silence hit different. I had gone from full-volume family chaos, school pickups, spilled cereal, Kendra's sighs echoing through the house, to complete isolation. At first, it was suffocating. Then, it was peaceful. I got a job at a local auto shop under the name J. Collins. Fixed busted transmissions and replaced tires for minimum wage. No one asked questions. I didn't offer answers. It felt weird at first, like wearing someone else's skin, but soon it felt safer than my real life ever did. I stopped looking at old photos. I deleted everything. Wedding pics, baby photos, texts, even the contact labeled Kendra Redheart. Gone. Every trace of her, wiped like she never existed. Funny thing is, the less I remembered her, the more I remembered me. I started waking up early again, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I hiked, fished, learned to cook something other than frozen pizza. I even took up sketching again, something I hadn't done since college. For the first time in years, my thoughts were my own. But there was always this small, burning ember deep inside, rage. Controlled, quiet, but hot, like lava under my ribs. Every time I saw a man kiss his wife at the grocery store, it flared up. Every time I saw a kid laughing on a dad's shoulders, it bit down harder. Not because I missed her, but because she burned down everything without blinking. And I let her. The kids? That's the part one couldn't shake. Not a day passed that I didn't wonder about Maddie and Carter. Did they ask about me? Did she lie to them too? Tell them Daddy abandoned them? Or worse, never mention me at all? But I had no legal ground. I'd left. No forwarding address. No court battle. No custody fight. I just vanished. Like a coward, maybe. But you try standing in an airport with a broken heart, staring at a photo of your wife tongue-wrestling a stranger, and tell me what the right move is. For years, that's how long it took for her to find me. I was chopping wood behind the cabin I'd been renting outside Whitefish. It was quiet, crisp air. Perfect morning. Until I heard the pounding. I turned the corner, and there she was. Kendra. Makeup smudged. Hair a mess. Wearing some oversized hoodie that looked borrowed. Eyes wild. Panicked. Jason. Jason, please. I need your help. She looked nothing like the woman in the Hawaii photos. The sparkle was gone, replaced by desperation. And me? I stood there with the axe still in my hand, not blinking. Do I look like a damn rescue plan to you? I asked, calm as a storm building behind closed doors. She froze. Her lips trembled. I saw the exact moment she realized. The man she left behind didn't exist anymore. And that's when I noticed my phone. I had turned it back on 2 weeks prior, just for work. 135 missed calls. All from her. She looked like hell. And I don't say that with satisfaction. I say it because it was the first time in my life I saw her without the mask. The Kendra I knew, always polished, always curated, was gone. In her place stood a woman who'd been chewed up by life, spat out, and still somehow believed she could come knocking on my door like I owed her something. She kept shouting my name. I didn't move. Jason, please, it's not safe. I didn't know where else to go. Please, just let me explain. Explain? My stomach twisted into a knot so tight I felt dizzy. For years, not a word, not a letter, not a single damn apology. And now she shows up out of nowhere. After shoving me off a cliff and vanishing into paradise? I didn't open the door. Not at first. I watched her from the window for a full minute. Just long enough to remind her that I wasn't the same idiot who used to wait around like a loyal puppy. But then I saw her legs buckle. She slid down to the porch, sobbing into her hands. It didn't look fake. And that pissed me off even more. I opened the door. Just a crack. You've got 2 minutes. Start talking. She looked up, red-eyed, snotty, mascara like war paint. Not a trace of the woman who once posed in matching white with me at our beach wedding. No diamonds, no pearls, no filters. Please, I have nowhere to go. He left. He took everything, my car, the house, the bank accounts. I didn't know what else to do. There it was. The ghost in the pool photo. Mr. Hands on the lower back. The man she torched our family for. I crossed my arms. You mean the guy you threw your marriage away for? That he? She flinched but kept going. I was stupid, okay? I believed everything he told me. He said he loved me. Said we'd build a life together. I didn't know he was married. I cut her off. Oh, come on, Kendra. Don't you start with the lies now. You lied to me for over a year. Gaslit me. Slept in my bed. Told me you loved me. All while warming up someone else's sheets. And now you want what, pity? Forgiveness. I want a second chance, she whispered. I laughed. Actually laughed. A sharp, bitter noise that came from a part of me I didn't even know existed until that moment. You buried your first one. She stood up, hugging her arms like they were the only things holding her together. What about the kids? She said. And that's when the ground shifted beneath me. My voice dropped. You dare bring up Maddie and Carter to me? They miss you, Jason. She choked on the words. They think you left them. I did. Because you made sure they'd believe it. She didn't answer that. Just looked down like a scolded child. Which was laughable, really, because Kendra never let herself be seen as wrong. But now, she was drowning, and I was the only piece of driftwood in sight. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. You're not coming in. I don't want to stay. I need help. I have nothing, not even a phone. I stared at her for a long moment, then reached into my back pocket and handed her a crumpled $20 bill. That's it. She stared at it like I'd slapped her. Maybe I had. You'll find a bus station a mile down the road. Head east. Plenty of shelters. She blinked. You're serious? Dead. And I meant it. Every word. I wasn't cold, I was clean. I wasn't bitter, I was free. She started to cry again. But I turned and walked back inside, closed the door, and didn't look back. The knock that once would have shattered me had become nothing more than noise that I didn't sleep that night. Not really. Just stared at the ceiling, listening to the wind batter the cabin's walls like it was trying to say something I didn't want to hear. Even though I turned her away, even though I shut the door with a finality that should have brought peace, I didn't feel victorious. I felt raw. There's something strange about rage. You think it fuels you, that it keeps you upright when everything else falls apart. But the truth is, it burns out, leaves ashes, and when the fire's gone, all you've got is smoke and silence. I sat by the wood stove, nursing black coffee that tasted like regret, staring at my phone. The same phone that had 135 missed calls just a day earlier. No new messages now, just the eerie calm after the storm. I hadn't thought about calling Maddie or Carter in 4 years. Not because I didn't love them, but because I didn't think I deserved to. Or worse, I thought they wouldn't want to hear from me, that maybe she'd poisoned their hearts the same way she'd poisoned mine. But now that Kendra was on the run, broken, abandoned by her fantasy, what were they doing? Were they with her? With some stranger? Foster care? God forbid, worse? My chest tightened like a fist around my lungs. I realized I didn't even know where my kids were. My own kids. That rage I thought I'd buried came back hard. Not at her. Not even at the loser she ran off with. But at me. I let it happen. I let her own the narrative. Let her spin the tale of Daddy disappeared, while I hid in the mountains like some recluse. Yeah, she lit the match, but I watched the house burn and walked away without even dialing 911. I grabbed my truck keys and headed down the dirt road toward town. I wasn't sure what I was doing. Maybe trying to catch her before she left. Maybe trying to hear the truth. Or maybe, stupidly, just hoping she could tell me one thing that made it all make sense. But she was gone. The bus station clerk said she left half an hour earlier. She'd paid cash for a ride heading east. No name given. Seemed out of it, he said. Didn't even have luggage. Weird vibe. That sounded about right. I stood in the parking lot, watching the horizon blur under the weight of late afternoon sun. I should have felt relief. She was out of my life again. But it wasn't over. Not even close. She'd cracked open a door I thought I'd locked for good. The next stop was the county courthouse. I walked in like a man on a mission, found the family law office, told them my name, my real name, Jason Cole, told them I wanted to look into custody rights, see if there was anything that would let me find my kids, even just a visitation order. The clerk was an older woman, maybe 60, with kind eyes and a no-nonsense voice. You've been out of contact for 4 years, Mr. Cole. That won't look good in court. I know, I said. But I didn't leave because I stopped loving them. I left because I couldn't stay without losing myself. She looked me over, tapping a pen against the desk. Do you know where your children are now? I shook my head. Well, she said, sighing. Then we start from scratch. And there it was. The real beginning. Not the airport. Not the kiss. Not even the knock at the door. It started now with me taking back what she tried to erase. The rage was gone. What was left was something stronger. Resolve. Starting from scratch felt like trying to rebuild a house after a fire, except I didn't even have the blueprints. I had no address, no clue where my kids were enrolled in school, no idea what name Kendra was even using now. For all I knew, she could have changed their last names too. But here's the thing. Once a man's mind locks onto a mission, especially one soaked in blood and guilt, there's no going back. The county clerk helped me file the first round of paperwork, proof of identity, declaration of intent to seek custody evaluation, request for location search via CPS. She warned me it might take weeks, maybe months. That's time I already lost, I told her. What's a few more if it gets me to them? I rented a tiny apartment closer to the town center. 1 room, bare walls, cracked tiles. Didn't matter. I was done hiding in cabins and choking on regret. This was war now, and my weapons were patience, paper trails, and persistence. While the legal gears slowly turned, I got to work digging. I reopened all the old email accounts I had abandoned, scoured social media like a man possessed. Vanessa, Kendra's sister, had a private Instagram now, but a few of her old posts were still public. Buried between makeup reels and vacation snaps from years ago was a tagged photo of Carter, my son, at a birthday party in a place called Colton Ridge, a small suburb about 120 miles south. It wasn't much, but it was something. I drove there that same day, heart punching my ribs with every mile. When I pulled into town, it was like stepping into a memory someone else owned. Quiet streets, kids riding bikes, sun-painted lawns. I scanned every corner like a sniper. I found the school, Jefferson Elementary. Walked right in, asked to speak to the principal under the pretense of being a relocating father. I told the truth, mostly. Just trimmed the parts that would have scared anyone into silence. My name's Jason Cole. I believe my kids, Madeline and Carter Cole, may be enrolled here. I haven't seen them in 4 years due to a complicated separation. I'm working with the courts now to establish rights. I'm just trying to confirm if they're here. The principal was a middle-aged woman with sharp glasses and sharper instincts. We can't release student information without proper legal authorization, she said, voice polite but firm. I get that, I replied. I'm not asking for addresses. Just, if they're safe. She hesitated. Her fingers drummed on her desk. Then she asked, do you have any court documents started? I handed her a printed copy of the filing from the courthouse. She read it silently, then looked me in the eyes. I can't confirm anything, she said carefully. But if what you're doing is truly for their well-being, you need to do it the right way. No shortcuts, and no showing up here again without court orders. Message received. She didn't say yes, but she didn't say no either. That night, I sat in my truck parked 2 blocks from the school. Just watched the sidewalk as families picked up their kids. And then I saw them. Carter, taller now, but still had that cowlick in the front I used to flatten every morning. Maddie, ponytailed, laughing with another girl. They were real, not just memories, not ghosts. They walked right past me, hand in hand with someone I didn't recognize. A tall, thin woman with strawberry blonde hair and a permanent scowl. Not Kendra, which only raised more questions. Where was she? Why weren't the kids with her? And what the hell happened in the last 4 years? The hunt wasn't over. It was just getting sharp. There's a feeling I never expected to have in my life. Watching my kids walk home with a stranger and realizing they looked comfortable. Not scared, not confused, just normal. Like this was their routine. Like that woman with the cold face and stiff walk was someone they actually trusted. And I was the ghost, watching from the curb. I stayed parked across the street, engine off, fists clenched around the steering wheel. Every instinct in my body screamed to get out, call their names, tell them, it's me, I'm here. I never forgot you, but I didn't. Not because I didn't want to, but because I couldn't afford to screw this up. Not now. One wrong move and the court would bury me before I even got a foot in the door. So I followed. From a distance. Down 2 blocks and around the corner. Into a small cul-de-sac where the woman led them to a beige house with peeling shutters and toys scattered across the lawn. She didn't look back once. I sat in the truck long after they'd disappeared inside. My brain was a thunderstorm of questions. Who the hell was she? A nanny? A friend of Kendra's? A foster guardian? I needed answers. The next morning, I went straight to the county clerk and filed a formal request for information on the kids' custody status. Since I was now officially re-entering as the legal father, they were required to notify me of any open or past guardianship proceedings. A few days later, I got the report, and that's when the pieces started falling into place. Turns out, 2 years after I vanished, Kendra was reported for neglect. Not just once, 3 times. The final time, it was Carter who made the call. 9 years old. Said his mom never woke up for school. That he didn't know how to make food for Maddie. And the house was too loud at night. The caseworker found signs of substance abuse, unpaid bills, and traces of narcotics in the house. Kendra lost custody. Temporary placement was given to a foster guardian named Elaine Barrett, the same name listed on the mailbox I'd seen 2 nights ago. My kids weren't just being raised by a stranger, they'd been saved by one. And I had no idea. I sat at my kitchen table, report spread out in front of me, heart collapsing in on itself. I wasn't angry at Elaine. Hell, I wanted to shake her hand. What made my stomach turn was that Kendra, after throwing away our life for her beachside boy toy, had spiraled this hard, and still had the nerve to come crying to my door like I owed her something. She didn't lose the kids because I left. She lost them because she was never meant to keep them in the first place. It hit me then. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. It wasn't about the affair or the lies or even that damn vacation. It was about fixing the damage I had a hand in. I'd left thinking I was walking away from her, but I'd left them too. I called the courthouse and asked for a court date to begin the custody petition. They scheduled it for 2 weeks out. That same day, I stood across the street from Elaine's house again. I didn't approach, just watched. I had no right to interfere until the court gave me that chance. But I needed to see them. I needed to remember why I was doing this. At 3:15, the school bus rolled up. Maddie hopped off first, her backpack bouncing, smile bright. Then Carter, taller now, more serious, but still with that way of walking like he was always late for something. Elaine opened the door and waved, her face softening into a smile. She hugged them both, pulled them in close, and led them inside. I hadn't known peace in 4 years, but watching that moment, that felt close. And I knew for the first time I wasn't trying to get my old life back. I was trying to build a new one, where they could trust me again. The day of the hearing felt like stepping into a memory I wasn't sure belonged to me. For years ago, I had vanished, walked off the map, disappeared from the pages of my own life. And now here I was, walking through courthouse metal detectors, documents in hand, heart pounding like I was on trial for a crime I didn't commit. But I had committed something, hadn't I? Not a crime, maybe, but an abandonment. Even if it was born from betrayal, even if it was self-preservation, I'd left. And my kids had paid a price. When I stepped into that courtroom and saw them sitting there, Maddie with her legs swinging nervously beneath the wooden bench, Carter watching everything with narrowed eyes, I nearly forgot how to breathe. They looked so much older. Not like memories, like real people. Changed, grown, damaged maybe, but not broken. And beside them, her Elaine Barrett, the stranger who picked up my slack. The one who stepped in when I didn't. She gave me a tight nod when our eyes met, cautious but not unkind. Kendra wasn't there. Apparently, no one knew where she was. No return calls. No fixed address. Her file read like a cautionary tale. Rehab, relapses, and a string of vanished court dates. She'd been stripped of all parental rights last year. A small, hollow victory. The kind that doesn't feel good. Just necessary. The judge looked over my petition, flipping through every page like it weighed 1,000 pounds. "Mr. Cole," she said, peering over her glasses, "you've been absent from your children's lives for a significant amount of time. Why now?" I swallowed, stood, and answered the only way I knew how, honestly. I was betrayed by their mother in a way that shattered everything I believed in. I thought disappearing would protect me from the pain. I was wrong. I left because I couldn't survive what she did to me. But I came back because not a single day has passed that I didn't miss them. I'm not here to rewrite the past. I'm here to show I've changed, and I'll fight every day to earn a place in their lives again. The room was silent. The judge nodded once, then turned to Elaine. "Ms. Barrett, you've been their guardian for almost 2 years. Do you believe Mr. Cole's involvement would be in their best interest?" Elaine looked at me, studied me, then said something I'll never forget. "I think they deserve the truth. I think they deserve to know their father didn't stop loving them. He just forgot how to come back." I nearly broke down right there. The judge ordered a 6-month reintegration plan, supervised visits, therapy sessions, progress reviews. Nothing was guaranteed, but it was a start. After the hearing, I caught up to Elaine and the kids outside the courtroom. "Hey," I said softly. Maddie stared at me, eyes wide. You're real. Yeah. I choked. I'm real. Carter stepped forward. Where were you? I knelt, looked him straight in the eye. I got lost, but I found the way back. I know it doesn't fix things, but I want to, if you'll let me. He didn't say anything, just nodded, eyes glassy. Elaine gave me a piece of paper. Her number. Start with once a week. Saturday afternoons. I'll be there too. Of course, I said. As they walked away, I didn't chase after them. I didn't need to. I'd already knocked on the last door I ever would. And this time, someone opened it. The end. Final reflection. If you're reading this because you're in the same kind of darkness I was, hear this. Don't wait until the damage is irreversible. Betrayal cuts deep, but disappearing cuts deeper. Own your pain, fight through it, and find your way back to the people who matter. Because sometimes the most courageous thing a man can do is come home. Sprasit ChatGPT.